Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to talk a little bit about more integrated dynamics and how to use the Parabox more efficiently, and also a little bit of duplication things and getting some more things unlocked. So I hope you guys are ready. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about the Parabox and how this Parabox can be used better. As of right now, the things in the future videos might change about this Parabox. But the one thing that doesn't change is how to duplicate items. And we have the ability right now to produce tons of lava, but we need to produce more power because we need more speed modifiers. To get more speed modifiers, the best way to probably do that is to just use your Parabox. And on top of that, allow us to unlock some more things. I would really like to unlock the Flux Networks. That would be a great thing to unlock, at least in my case, because I love that. If you're planning on playing different worlds, it's probably best to do the fast forward. That way you can get a jump start. That thing provides some really nice early game items. Also, if you're planning on getting into mob automation, there's some good stuff there with this, and some nice lamps with this one. So I would like to unlock a few more prestige points, and to get the power to build up to do that can be kind of daunting at first. So I want to talk about how to store power to use for your Parabox. I think the best way to store power for your Parabox, well, early on, is to use integrated dynamics. Now, I've talked a little bit about integrated dynamics, and you just don't understand how cheap this mod actually is to run. It is very cheap. Making these blocks of crystal mineral, that's easy. Easy. Blocks of redstone, it's infinite. We're making tons of it. So to make these, it's super simple. Just to make this. So let's go ahead and make a few of these energy batteries, and I'll show you how powerful this actually is. So if we make a whole inventory full of these batteries, they each hold 1,000,000 RF a piece. These things store 1,000,000 RF. And if we place them together, they now store 2,000,000 RF. And if we place two more, it'll make a 2,000,000 RF. And if we take the 2,000,000 RFs, put them together, that's 4,000,000 RF. If we keep adding the 1,000,000, that's 5,000,000, 6,000,000, 7,000,000, 8,000,000. Look at that. 9,000,000, 10,000,000. This right here is an entire Parabox on the first tier that, as long as you fill this up with some power, you will have access to. 11, and you keep going. But the cool part is if you use your Parabox and then after the power is all drained out and you break it and or you just leave it and your world restarts, you can just restart your world and this thing's full of power again. You can just start your Parabox right over and just do it over and over again. Or if you take this 15 or whatever we get this thing up to, and you use your Parabox and you want to duplicate this block, all you got to do is break it and put it in your inventory, go back, break the one in your new world, and that thing is going, and you just combine it together, and eventually you're going to get this thing up to its max, which I think is it's over 500 million RF is what these things can store maximum. I think that's one of their largest sizes. And I think the max output on these things is like 300 something thousand RF per side. Very cool. And logic cables, you can use them for energy, and you can actually send power really quick out of these energy cables. So the energy cables just require an energy battery, right? That's to make 4 of your base ones. It says we're missing crystal mineral, but we have a bunch of blocks of it, right? And we're always producing more. So there we go. So we make these energy cables, and of course we're going to make energy exporters. So we're going to be pulling energy out of our battery. So we're going to use an exporter. And technically, this thing is going to be super powerful for helping you do the Parabox. Let's go ahead and get some logic cable. We can just place the logic cable right here. This can be our battery. You can see we're just standing here. We're charging this thing off of our wireless chargers, which is kind of insane in itself. You see it's connected right here. I don't want it connected directly, even though you can do that. There's no reason for us to connect directly. By the way, using the wrench for this mod is way better than just breaking it. Let's put an energy interface here. That's going to connect to that. We'll connect that here, and we'll do an energy exporter here. And what we got to do is get ourselves a variable card and place it in this guy, and we can import or export energy from here. Now, by default, it doesn't have an amount card. We could make an integer amount card and just set a variable, or set an integer number, which is just a number. Or we can go into our settings and just leave it on export energy. Go into our settings here, do ticks per operation 1. That's perfect. We can go into a per card or per variable card properties edit, and we can start changing some things. So right here, energy transfer rate, I'm going to set this to just an insane large number. That way it just maxes out. So 999, or just 99, or what would it be? 99,999. That's not enough. We go one more. That would be enough, because I believe the max transfer rate is somewhere around 300,000 RF a tick. So this will automatically pull out the max amount. And if you right click it, it tells you what we're actually powering at. So what we can do is grab some GPSs. And I really want this to change how our power system works, right? I'm going to change all of our power system. So we're going to do, not applied energistics, we need energy cable. And what I want to do is just have the energy cable be our main source, right? I want these to pretty much just disappear for right now. I want our power to line up into here and feed right in, right? I don't want this to have any other method. You can see this is filling really fast now. I want my power, my main power, to be pulled from here. And we can use integrated dynamics for that. However we want to do that. But I don't believe it sends power out automatically. So if we place like an energy transfer node up next to this thing, I don't believe it just gives it power. Yeah, you can see it doesn't automatically send power. We have to send that out. And that's where integrated dynamics comes in handy, right? Which allows us to do that. So let me go ahead and just store some of these items in here. I don't want these to go anywhere else. I want them to be here. Because this technically stopped producing lava already, right? We're losing power. Our applied energistic system's losing power. Pretty nasty. So, integrated dynamics, we need to get our power interfaces. Let's hurry up and head up there before we lose power. There we go. Energy interface. Perfect. Make a couple of these. Energy interfaces. And we'll do some exporters. Just like that. And we'll grab our variable cards. Awesome. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead, take my energy cubes, whatever you want to call them, start placing them up here. I think I have some more. Just to transfer power wirelessly until we get a better method. And yeah, we're going to use integrated dynamics. We're going to use logistic cables. And we're going to have importers on these. Right? Because this is going to be our network. So importer. Let me just get these, make sure they're hooked up. Didn't want that. Let's grab. We'll just go ahead and break this. Well, they do take a long time to break. That's why the wrench is really handy. Using the wrench for this mod is way better. All right. And we just connect these and apply our variable cards. Now, by default, again, it's not going to be transferring what I want it to. We have to go in here. We'll just copy. Go into here. Paste. And we'll set that for each one. Just so we make sure we're getting the max transfer rate. Perfect. So these should start receiving some power. Look at that. And now we have a buffer, right? A buffer for our power, so we're not struggling anymore. I am going to make sure I have specific GPSs. I'm going to have to relink all of these GPSs that we have. I want to do that because I know that some things need specific ordering. Like these need to be in a specific order. And things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get these relinked, and I'll be back. So I just activated the Parabox, and you can see, look how fast our power is now transferring into here. And the bigger the battery, the more that goes into this. It can be quite extensive. And I think maybe even changing this, let's see, add another 9 to the end. Like, I mean, it's just insane. The speed at which this thing can go is pretty fast. There are better cables that can send more power out. But this is so cheap and such a nice, simple way to send power and things like that. And store power as well. This is a pretty big battery after you start to grow these things. And you can see I got all of these hooked up. Look at this. It still has 18 plus million in there. It's already sent 12. We're producing a lot of power that's all being funneled into this battery. And then it's being outputted to these 5 different transfer nodes, which are just being sent to everything that is just functioning, right? Super, super cool. I'm really, really enjoying this pack just for the simple fact that it just like SevTech did, makes you try out different methods of doing things. I don't think I would have ever used integrated dynamics as a piping system until this pack. I mean, it's just integrated dynamics has now become one of my favorite like item routing mods. I mean, not integrated dynamics, integrated tunnels, which is an add-on for integrated dynamics, but still the same. I can run this Parabox. It's already at a power amount that, I mean, if I let it keep doing what it's doing, we have 10 million still in here. It can still run 2 cycles. So I'm at the point where I can run 2 cycles, gain 2 points, because it'll take 20 minutes to gain 2 points. So you have 10-minute cycles, if you didn't know how that works, and we'll gain 2 points. And then it'll go up to, it'll like just double, keep doubling, and keep growing in increments. I think it goes 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, and keeps going up the higher the cycle count gets. But like I said, if you want to just keep doing it on one and wait 10 minutes and then do it again, you can do so. But what I'm going to do is, once we get to that 1 prestige point, I'm going to go ahead and break this battery, right? Because it did save beforehand. And I'm going to take that battery with me back. I'm also going to take all these upgrades out of these machines. Might even take the machines, I don't know. But I'm going to take all the upgrades for sure out of them, and we're going to bring that, and that's going to help power this even faster. Next time, we're going to have max upgrades in these things, right? It's going to be pretty insane once we get these things fully running. And we can probably help out if we knock these things down to 5. But these auto clickers are pretty good, and the only thing that's going to make them faster is by providing them with more cobblestone. At the moment, it's got a lot of cobblestone. But yeah, this should be a fairly nice run. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to let this prestige a couple times, right? I'm going to go ahead. I'm only going to probably copy a couple of items while I'm doing the prestige. I'm probably going to grab a drive again so I can copy some drives and things like that. Other than that, it's probably not going to be too much that I do other than just letting prestige points grow, because there's not much else that I really want other than prestige, because I just want to unlock things. Something that'd be really good to unlock, by the way, is the Android. Turning yourself into Android is actually pretty useful later on. You can convert your health or your hunger bar into energy, so you no longer need to feed yourself. Very useful thing. And then we also have the Flux. I really want to get Flux unlocked so I can stop using the GPS markers, because they do get kind of annoying after a while. And then also I want to unlock the Mega Torch. So that way we can prevent mobs from spawning, but also we can kind of get rid of some of the lamps, because these do have some Feral Flare lanterns from that mod that are really useful. And then from that point, well, I think we should start, I don't know. We can probably unlock this and start producing more materials as we go through this stage. Deep mob learning, or not deep mob learning, mob grinding utils is going to be useful, but later on. And for one specific reason. I don't even want to use this mod for grinding mobs. I want to use it for something else. And you're going to learn about that in the future episodes. But guys, this thing is almost done. Look at that. 46 million power just stored in here, ready to go for prestige. Super simple by just using an energy battery. Insane, guys. So I'll be back after gathering some prestige points and see what we can't do. So here's the big upside. I just got back after doing the first Parabox point. You can see right here. And we have that energy battery that we had, and it's full again because, of course, it saves before it actually starts. And here's just some items that I went ahead and grabbed to make sure I got more of. But the big thing is this. I'm going to go ahead and take this because I have one already. And you can see it has the power in it, but I did bring one with me. So this is 19 and 19. If we take these and combine these together, we get 38 million. It's just crazy. And that 19 million that we had is now 19,000. I don't know. It's probably because we had some kind of charging thing going on. But if I put that back, it's going back to normal again. Look how fast that's charging. And not only that, but we have some more speed upgrades to kind of throw at this thing. So that is going to be super fun as well. I do need to make another drive, as I did add a few more drives to everything. Let me go ahead and throw this in. I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of this. And then I'm going to go ahead and get back into just getting more prestige points. So that way we can unlock some more things and talk about how to do that. I just wanted to show you guys mostly how to unlock more prestige, how to get that done, and how to make things feel a little bit better. So you don't feel like you're always wasting time. So now we have that, right? I think we're just about ready. I don't need my portal gun really anymore, at least not on me. I'm going to take my upgrades. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the power while we're here before I activate the prestige box again. And yeah, I'm just going to go sit here and kind of wait for prestige points. So I've now ran the Parabox several times. And believe me, I was able to get some side work done as I allowed this to kind of do its thing. There really wasn't much that I wanted to do in the world while I let it done, because you can't. At least as of right now. Things may change eventually, but when that Parabox is running, you can't really do much with the world interaction. You can, however, do things and craft things in your inventory, which does work. But now we have some prestige points, which means we have some choices to unlock things. Now, what I really want to do, I kind of have an idea of how I want to progress through this. And to do that, I first want to make things easier on me. And to do that, getting into Flux Networks is probably going to be the best choice for that matter. After that, I think we're going to go into turning ourselves into an android. And the reason I want to do this is because it will make going to the Twilight Forest much easier. And the reason I say that is because we can probably get ourselves a lot more damage, and we can also probably buff ourselves health-wise to protect ourselves a little better. Plus, it'll make us go faster and things like that, which is always nice, and give us night vision and a couple of other cool features. That would be very useful. But yeah, there's a couple things that we're probably going to do. But if, I first want to unlock Flux Networks. So I just unlocked that. If I do this now, it will automatically give me the pills. I don't want to be turning myself into an android just yet. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and use one prestige point here. I'm going to leave these 3 prestige points open for whenever we do this, which will probably be next episode. But for right now, we have a couple mods that we can kind of talk about and kind of work on. which I absolutely love. So to get started with Flux Networks, we're gonna need some redstone. Good old redstone and flint and steel. Let's make some of that. And you can go ahead and light you a small fire in your house. Be sure not to burn it down. That would not be okay. And we're going to go ahead and make ourselves some flux. Just like that. That's how you make flux. So, this mod is Flux Networks, which is very self-explanatory. Read yourself some Eyes of Ender. Be sure to make a few of these. You're going to need them. 32 maybe be good enough. There we go. So we have our flux cores. These are going to be very necessary for getting into this mod. We need a flux block. That is what we're going to use to make our base flux plug. That's our plug. And then we're going to use some points. And let's make some points. Perfect. So this pretty much gets rid of most of our setup here. It really does. It gets rid of a lot of the clutter on our setup. What I am going to do, though, is leave this for right now. Place this on the front. This is going to become our new system. So all we got to do now is name this whatever we want. So we can name this input, or this would be, yeah, well, I guess it would be network, power network, yeah. Power network party. How about that? And we're going to leave all this stuff alone. We don't need to worry about we'll just leave it to forage energy. That works fine with everything else. And we can set this to bright yellow, right? Bright yellow. That's pretty good, right? We'll save that and make sure to select that. And we can uncheck power limit. I don't think we have to worry about power limit, but that is a thing. So what we can go ahead and get rid of, which I'm super excited for, is we can get rid of this nasty connection down here. We no longer need an energy acceptor. Blah. You can get rid of that nasty thing. What we can do is take a flux point, stick the flux point down here, and that flux point, when we connect to the network here, will automatically feed this with power. Right there. You can see it's using power, but it's also being fed power, or at least it should. 3, 2, 1. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not being fed power. It should, unless they change something. We change this to Tesla redstone energy units. Let's change the mode. I mean, we can do whatever we want. Minecraft Joules, it should be forge energy, it should work. And if this doesn't work, I'll be sad. It doesn't look like it's working. Sad day. It's weird, it worked the other day and now it doesn't work. Bummer. Oh well, we can still replace this here. And now this will transfer power into this. And should transfer power here, unless we're just not getting any power. Which could be an issue. It's almost as if our power network's not working. Wow, we just set this up, and now we're not receiving any power. Of course, flux plug, points, buffers. We have nothing in our network buffer. It may be something to do with maybe we need a network buffer. This has power, but it's not pulling from this battery. Man, that's a bummer. Will it pull from the top? Because I know it should connect. Right here. That should connect. Sort by priority. Plugs. I'm connected. Priority. Plug. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. For some reason, that's not pulling. I guess maybe we can try hooking to this. That should work. It's also hooked to the logic cable as well. Very interesting. I love, sometimes we run into problems on camera, and I do like to show that. It looks like it is gaining power now. Slowly. Let's see if we can't speed that up by hooking this up now, because this should hook directly. There we go. it's still going up. You can see right here at the rate it's pulling out. Okay. So yeah, that is working now. I just don't know why it wasn't working before. Kind of weird. Kind of weird how that's working. But that's just how it's doing its thing. Now we can monitor our power usage a little bit easier, because this really does lets us monitor our power a little bit better. It's transferring 1,000 a tick. I don't know if it's coming from this. This is set to 1,000 a tick. We can do that and see if that changes anything. Negative 390 tick it's changing now. So it's all it's using. So I don't actually know why it's doing that weird stuff, but maybe because this thing's full. Yeah, it's because this thing's full. But it looks like this is using 390 RF a tick. That's good to know. To run this whole system, 390 RF a tick just for this system alone. Wow, that gives us some useful knowledge. That's why Flux Networks is actually really nice, because of all that power information that it does give you. But yeah, that is probably going to be it for today's episode. If you're watching this currently, let's see. I'm going to have a few videos that are going to be coming out the next few days, but I'm going to be going on vacation the next few days. So if you're watching this right now, at the day of release, I am probably on vacation for a week. So there's going to be a couple of videos that are going to be coming out while I'm on vacation. So keep that in mind, that if I don't respond to the comments right away, it might be because I'm just, avoiding my phone for the most part. I may still try to answer questions and stuff like that in the comments. So be sure to send those comments my way so I can get a hold of them. But we are going on a nice vacation for about a week. We're going to be gone from Monday through Friday. So there'll be no live streams or anything like that. Or at least I'll try not to live stream, depending on what we do while we're there. I might live stream some stuff on YouTube. Who knows? But guys, I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, where we did learn a little bit about Parabox and integrated dynamics batteries and things like that. Guys, I really do appreciate it. You guys have been absolutely amazing during this series. I hope you guys stick around for the rest of it. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next episode, guys. And as always, thanks for watching.